Hey everybody! Before we start today's episode, I would like to remind you that I recently started a gaming review channel. You can find the link to that channel in the description down below. It is labeled Konoha Reviews. On that channel, I review games, both old and new, and you can even request certain reviews by commenting on the videos on there. Please check it out, and if you like what you see, please consider subscribing and supporting me on that channel. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the episode. Mankind had torpedoed itself in galactic quarrels as the neighboring mandate of Thembolia had set up strict borders and signs were showing of the human splintering amongst their own faction. A message from the UNS Sojourner arrived about a particular discovery. The presence of a pre-space alien civilization on Mandoc 4 in the Mandoc system was detected. There was evidence that they had harnessed the power of the atom, and nuclear weapons may be prolific among their many divided nation-states. The possibility of a sudden self-inflicted extinction event was high. The governing bodies set up a meeting to agree on building an observation post in the vicinity to study them more closely. To some, it was reminiscent of how we people of Earth once were, especially during the so-called Cold War period, when the threat of nuclear destruction seemed closer than ever all those centuries ago. The UNS Adriatic had previously been tasked with building a starbase in the system closest to the mandate's border. Some feared this might antagonize them, while others felt this had to be done to claim as much territory as possible while it lasted. Back on Earth, a drought in jobs haunted the entire globe for many years. Hui Wu had previously said that he would see to it that more work opportunities would become available, but it wasn't until the second half of 2013 that he signed a treaty for a huge array of alloy foundries to be erected, offering jobs to hundreds of thousands. After, more news arrived from the Mandoc system. Beneath the barren and lifeless surface of planet Mandoc 3, anomalies were detected. It was still unclear what could possibly live down there. Research would follow during the next 4 months. With job opportunities being created back on Earth and a possible rival standing on the people's doorstep through the mandate, strengthening mankind's economy became priority, and zero-G refineries would be considered a key amongst achieving that goal. The addition of internal refineries on mining stations would substantially increase mineral production overall. With the starbase built in the system bordering the territory of the mandate of Thembolia, it was now time to exploit that system by building some mining and research facilities. Truth be told, there was not much to gain from this particular system, but once again the location in regards to the mandate made this area a priority. A few months after the initial research began, word was received from Mandoc 3. Some kind of burrowing, silicon-based lifeform inhabited a vast network of tunnels beneath the barren surface of the planet. As best as the researchers could tell, the creatures fed off rocks, and there was evidence to suggest that they possessed a rudimentary form of intelligence. Their tunneling efforts had shuffled large amounts of valuable minerals to the surface. A month later, news got out that many were afraid of. Unknown alien vessels had been located in the Almach system. For now, the strange objects had been flagged as kitsunes until they could learn more about them. It was of course evidently that eventually mankind would stumble upon more alien races. People just hoped for now that they were at least peaceful to outsiders or could at least tolerate them like the mandate did. Rather than fearsome, many people were also excited by the opportunity to learn more about the galaxy, and if the newly discovered species were indeed friendly, they could really benefit from a possible cooperation. Besides just the kitsunes, it seemed that the unknown alien life form had also colonized, or at least inhabited, a planet in the Almach system. In the beginning of 2215, the UNS Potomac continued its strive to build more starbases and claim more territory. From the point of view of the charted star map, it was heading down for the moment. Then sinister news arrived as a discovery was made that shocked the world of science. What could only be described as a dimensional portal had been discovered in a remote location on Ancora. Weather prediction algorithms noticed a strange air current, which was eventually determined to be caused by the slight leakage of atmosphere into the portal. The rate of loss was far too small for it to make any difference to life on Ancora, but the very existence of this portal raised some disturbing questions, such as, where did it lead to, and could something come through the portal from the other side? This particular discovery was now on the minds of many people, some more so than the newly encountered alien species. Fantasies once more ran wild with the possibilities that one would end up by utilizing the mysterious portal. Due to the fact that colonization of alien worlds was a reality now, it opened up an entirely new field of biomedical research. Ji Zhao would oversee these procedures as co-workers would travel from and to Ancora to issue new discoveries. Though there were many who were positive about the finding of new alien races throughout the galaxy, there were those who were also fearful, especially with the readings hinting at the mandate of Thembolia having an unfriendly viewpoint towards mankind. Then more news arrived from the Mandoc system, a system that turned out to be one of the most fruitful territories yet in terms of discoveries. Karim Farxad let it be known that they were receiving a weak signal from the surface of Moon Mandoc 8A. Though they were not exactly sure what it was, the initial readings made it appear to be some kind of tracking beacon. It turned out to be indeed a small short-range transmitter. It appeared to be an ancient survey marker, placed there eons ago, to mark a large deposit of precious metals. The miners it was meant for evidently never arrived, as the deposit was still there. Back on Earth, preparations were made immediately to set up facilities and crews to exploit the resources on this moon. With the ever-increasing network of traffic and logistics over several solar systems, it became very apparent that mankind would need help from AI in terms of administrative ways. AI by 2215 had come a long way since it was able to beat the world champion at the ancient game of Go, and by now was able to be a crucial part of all administrative matters to log and upkeep data in a time span that would be impossible to reach with only man's help. With Barnard's star becoming a symbiote of the Sol system, it was time to escalate things further, and one of the things that needed to be done was upgrade the star station to a proper port that could hold many ships, travelers, and cargo. Though in the future, many more trading routes would be set up between Earth and yet undiscovered locations, for now, the priority was linking Barnard's star and Sol. Though many months had passed, no word had been received from the so-called Kitsunes. It could be that, similar to the Mandate, the species had not been able to translate our language yet, which they surely picked up via transmitters. Or they were waiting for something else to happen, or just the right moment to strike. Then by August of 2016, the latter seemed out of the question. Earth received a transmission from the Qravadox Corporation. They appeared to be bird-like creatures, though they shared more similarity to humanoids than the inhabitants of the Mandate did. The Qravadox delegate spoke for Chief Executive Officer Lokoric and the wealthy elite of the Qravadox Corporation. One of the first things they let slip was that the labeled alien ways of mankind were objectionable to them, but were still willing to engage in limited trade, assuming that us inferior humans could produce anything of value. Some were glad that this new encountered race was not hostile, though they were far from friendly either. Their whiff of superior feeling over the humans had also many people of Earth being offended. But since they were not hostile, Earth had no reason to mobilize. They were simply xenophobic. They held themselves in high regard, as the stakes could not be higher, as they reached into the vast uncharted expanses of the galaxy, for they were gambling with the very survival of their species. Never trust the alien. Its false smile hides an unknowable mind was their motto, and it showed mere seconds after establishing contact with Earth. But their militaristic nature had many a person worried. They seemed to virtue courage and discipline, for with that channeled properly, they could overcome any obstacle. In their eyes, therein lay true strength. Force withheld, a promise made. On the charted star map, the location of the Qravadox Corporation was to the right, and the Mandate to the left. Mankind had no other choice but to go up or down. And who knew what kind of new alien races they would stumble upon there.